You're watching The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales. Streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
Boom! Hey, thanks again for joining us on Sketch Up with Mog and Mel. We've got an exciting night tonight. Even though it might be early, we're going to kick off with a monster night tonight. So if you want to get in early on that, the free giveaways tonight, #EXP Monster Night. We've got a group of people from Hawaii who I'm glad, very, very happy that they are with us tonight, sharing projects that they're working on. And I'd like you guys all to hear what they are working on. And we will do that right when we come back after this short, brief commercial. Hey, thanks again for joining us on this wonderful Thursday night. We've got a very chilly night for us, and might be fitting since it is a monster night that we're having here today. I do see Kenneth Bird and Skunk Snot. Thanks again for joining us. Love you guys coming out and checking us out. Right, so if you want to get in on the giveaways, put in #EXP Monster Night. That will get you in the running for that tonight. And don't forget to hit that follow button. And if you can share, like, and comment as well, that'll help us increase our fellowship so that we can continue to give you wonderful content like Nick Barucci's The Original Art Show every Friday nights at 7 p.m. Okay. And so tonight, we have a group from Hawaii, and we're going to, each of them has something to share. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to start off with Lawrence Pacheco. He's here with us tonight. Hey, Lawrence, how are you doing, man?
Hi, Mel. Hi, Mog. How are you doing?
Hey.
That's great to see you. Haven't seen you in a long time, and we look forward to seeing you I think it's in about like 6 weeks now or something like that. It's coming up pretty fast. Yeah. So, and you have a new you have your own project that you're launching.
Correct.
Soon, right? And tell us a little bit about that. Give us a little snippet.
Okay. Well, the name of the comic book is called Vala'au, which of course means in Hawaii, in Hawaiian to be talkative or, boisterous. But it's the name of a character. It's a female character that has an ability to emit these powerful sound waves when she wants to. And when people are what she feels are doing the wrong thing, she dresses up and takes on the persona of Vala'au, and she dispenses justice.
Great. Now, just so we have clear something up here for our viewers. Are you Hawaiian?
I am not, but I do live in Hawaii, and I'm fourth generation.
Okay, there you go. Okay, just because some people don't know, so what does a Hawaiian look like?
Yes.
So just so that everybody knows. Okay, so and then next up, we actually have Lawrence's wife, Napua Ahina. She has been with us before, and so we welcome her coming back. Hey, Napua. Hi. Good to see you.
Hi. I'm actually Hawaiian, so this is what a Hawaiian looks like.
There you go. Okay, now, when Napua was with us, she was sharing Dracula 1944, which I saw did very well, and post the Kickstarter that you ran. You did some amazing things with it. You got it across the country at several stores. So you were really working hard to getting out there. So congratulations on that. And now you have a new project. Is that correct?
Yes. It's also horror related. It's an anthology book from artists, storytellers from Hawaii. It's called Macabre Tales. So it's an anthology. We have a collection of 6 stories featuring cultural monsters, like Filipino monsters, Japanese, Native Hawaiian. So it's unique, like Hawaii is unique, bringing in multiple cultures.
Fantastic. And we're going to hear more about that, but let's bring out some of the rest of the people that we have with us tonight. Another person from Hawaii who was also on here before with Napua is Connie Jolitz. Hey,
Hello.
Connie.
Hello.
Connie is an artist, and she does love horror. But what are you working on tonight?
Tonight, actually, I'm doing a thing that's inspired by a pinup that I'm going to do for the next Macabre Tales. I was chatting with Napua last week, and I had an idea for it early. So I'm doing a riff of that, which is a Leviathan Terror from the Deep. I'm starting to do the line work for it.
Wow, that's already a lot of artwork on there.
Yeah, I started early, so that's
wow.
So that's going to be up for auction today. So I figured I'll start with 75 and then see if anybody wants to take this. And there was a couple of people who had already suggestions of what else to add on it. So I'm busy adding jellyfish, and I put your seahorse right here in the corner. I don't know if you can see it. So I'm busy. So if I don't say shit, I'm busy.
There you go. As you can see, that there's a lot of work on there already, and that is more than worth the 75. So somebody place a bid on that quick. Okay, so next up that we have with us, and God, I really love the artwork that this girl does too. I mean, I like everybody's artwork, but Cat Mouse does some fantastic things with monsters as well.
Hello.
There you go. Now, she did a Monster Girl the last time, which was really, really nice.
Yeah, I love my Monster Girls. I can't help it.
And here we go. We have another Monster Girl. Is that right?
Yes, we do. Today, I'll be doing a harpy. I felt like doing like feathers and claws. So that's what I'll be doing today.
Right. So you're probably going to put a lot of detail into those feathers and claws and make it.
Oh, really, yeah. And then adding, like giving her like some scales and some more like feather work.
Yeah. You love doing all that scales, don't you?
Yeah, I can't help it. I like doing the scales.
Right. And we got a bid on Connie's 75 is down from Mike Asbill.
Damn. Okay. Damn. Thank you.
All right. And now Kat she likes to start low. She likes to give everybody a chance to get her stuff. And I believe you're starting this at $30. Is that correct?
Yes. I like starting the art auctions off really low for me personally.
Yeah, it's always good because then you know a lot of people will jump in and you'll kind of like see a nice little bid wars at the end.
Fight.
Yep. Okay, so and we're going to come back and take a look at more of that. We also have one of our favorites on the show. He's here very often, and we love having him, is Mr. Fish.
Oh, it's me. What do you know? Hello, everybody.
Our own bearded man.
I'm telling you, you got to have somebody bring a little age to this show, a little wisdom. Can't just be all pretty girls. No, you got to have a little old man on here, keep it balanced.
Yeah, or pretty guys.
I'm saying I'm neither, so you know.
Were you originally like a redhead?
Me? Oh no, my hair was dark brown. Everybody thought I had black hair, but it was just really dark. Not anymore.
So you think like Viking, Irish inside you, maybe?
Yeah, my dad has said probably like some Scotch Irish, probably English. Like the last name's English, so who knows?
Last name is English.
If you ask my grandma, we come from Mississippi. We didn't come from no other country. We ain't no foreigners. I tried to explain to her that we were too pasty to be from Mississippi, but there was no arguing with her about it. So I let it go. And I am working on, I don't know if you can see it there, 11 by 14 drawing of Trapjaw from He-Man, Masters of the Universe.
Oh, there you
Nice.
go.
I decided to work on something a little bigger, so it'll take me a little longer to get done.
Yeah.
Crab jaw.
It's actually interesting that you're gonna
Down
work
there.
big. So
Yeah.
You've actually showed some of your pieces that were big, and the artwork was fantastic because you can see like a lot more. You definitely put more into it, so it's going to be really interesting to see how this comes out. Now, and your starting bid on that
It is $50.
$50. Okay, another low baller. If you guys want to bid on
Mhm.
that, do so in the comments. Get a bid on that. Okay. And then last but not least, our own Miss Fong. Very, okay, so you're working on a Supergirl.
Yes, Supergirl's cover.
Okay. And you're starting this one out at 150, right?
Yes. This is usually my price for half body. Now I do full body.
Okay, there you go. So you're getting a bit of a deal there at that starting bid of 150. So if you want to bid on that, go ahead and do so in the comments. Okay. And I know it's going to be a fantastic job because if you've seen Fung's work before, then you know what to expect. Whenever she draws at the shows, we do like a live SketchUp show. People are always going ooh and ah with her finished work. And she is very, very busy. I don't know how she's doing this. I think she's got a couple covers due. She's working on her graphic novel. Then on top of that, next week she's going to be at FanX Salt Lake.
Yes.
The week after that is LA Comic Con. The week after that is New York Comic Con. And then the week after that is San Diego Comic Fest. 4 weeks in. Now we've never done that ourselves. That would just be killer.
I think I would simply pass away if I did that much all at once, like week after week. You would just find me behind the table where she's like, she has passed. This is now all tribute art.
This is the memorial service here.
Yes.
Leave a piece of artwork in memoriam and move along, move along.
She died as she lived.
And then after that, okay, she's not completely done yet, right? But she's gonna have like a week break, and then it's Amazing Hawaii.
Hawaii. Yay!
So excited! We're totally excited for that to be back in the islands. And then 2 weeks after that, it's going to be the Fan Expo San Francisco. Fun will be going to that as well. And then our last show for the year will be the Maui Comic Con after San Francisco. So this last quarter, I don't think I've had a busier fourth quarter than what it is right now. There was a lot of juggling that went around with the shows, and they ended up where they're at this year, and this is how it's been. San Diego Comic Fest is coming back after 4 years. Hawaii had to reschedule to November. LA Comic Con moved from December to October, or so at the bottom of September. So yeah, there's a lot of shuffling that went on in the last quarter that made it really busy. So you'll get to see all of us at those shows. Okay, so let us now go to Lawrence and talk more about his project, Wala'au, right?
Wala'au, yes.
Wala'au, okay. All right, so how did you come up with this idea? Because this is your first project, correct?
It is the first commercially published comic book that I'm doing, yes. As a kid, I made comic books, like all of us, and all the way through into high school, but this is the first commercially published book. And so it came about we were at a hairstylist, and we just figured out, that was listening to a lot of the chatter that was going on, and I thought, what if that were a power? So, locally based character, and she, like I said earlier, she dispenses justice when she feels the need.
Now, who's are you doing everything on this? But no, you're not doing everything on this.
No, I'm the
So
creator
tell us
and the writer.
who you have on
and
there.
I'm the creator, the writer, and the colorist.
Okay.
The cover art is done by a very good friend of mine, Christopher Dela Cruz, who was in Hawaii for a long time and now lives in Connecticut.
Wow,
The
that's a
the sequential artist is someone who lives in Brazil, and his name is Renato Santos.
wow. Okay, so wow, talk about a creative team that's like all over. You got Brazil
Yeah.
and now Connecticut. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How many pages is this story going to be?
We're starting it off with 16. That's kind of what we're doing. It's condensed to a great story, a 16-page story, and hope everybody will like it.
Okay. Is it going to be just is it a mini series? Is it just a one shot?
For now, it's a one-shot. Let's see how it does, and I'm really interested to see how people react to it when they read it.
You know, are you planning to have this out in time for Amazing Hawaii?
Oh yes, it's actually going to be released next month.
Okay.
And will be here locally in stores next month. And I will have copies available at our table at Amazing in Hawaii.
Now, are you putting this through some kind of a crowdfunding campaign, or are you just selling this at the shows? How can people get access to this book?
It was originally a Kickstarter campaign.
Okay.
And it was successful. Thanks to everyone who contributed.
Fantastic.
And so the eventual plan is that it will be available for sale online. And but for now it'll be at Amazing, and I'm trying to see if we can go ahead and get it in other stores.
Okay. Now, do you have a website where people can go to?
Sure. The website is soaringimaginations.com. And you can check out more about it there.
Easy. Now, is that the only project you have on there, or do you have other things on the website that people can pick up as well?
Well, on the website, we're through my company. I'm actually going to be. We've published Napua's picture book that's coming up.
Oh.
A Winnie the Pooh picture book. And that will be available also at Amazing at both of our tables.
Oh, are you guys getting a table each, or just are you guys sharing one?
A table each.
Ooh.
You guys are really bringing it on.
Yeah, she has her projects that she can talk to you about, and I'm have some other projects that are coming up that I'm not really ready to talk about, but there's another comic book that's in the wings that I'm really excited to eventually talk to people about. Should be fun.
Fantastic. Okay. And how many more projects do you have lined up already?
There are 2 more so far that are in the works right now.
Can you give us an idea? I know you don't want to talk too much about it, but anything about your creative teams on those, or is it going to be the same group of guys, or you're getting a different group of people to work on those books?
What I can say is that Renato Santos, who did the interior sequential art for Wala'au, is going to be involved in the next comic, and he will be doing the cover of the following comic book.
Okay. How many covers did you have for Wala'au? Was it just that one?
Just the one.
Okay, keeping it simple, controlling it, and it's actually a good thing. A lot of people think, well, if you're going to do a project, you got to have like several covers, but I totally disagree with that. I think you have to go with what you can do and work from there, right? Because it's always trying to test things out, see what works. If you invest too much, it's too much to try and see like what is happening. So, yeah, the slower start, I think, works best. It'll take you longer. It might take you a little bit longer to get where you want to go, but I think that's the way to go. And a lot of people have learned that the hard way. And you can talk to Brian Polito about that. He'll be happy to tell you what he went through in that growing phase. Okay, so we have also Napur, who has her own project. If you can go ahead and tell us more about that, Napur.
Well, Lawrence mentioned that I have a picture book with him, his company, it's Winnie the Pooh. We did a Kickstarter for that, and it was successful. Thanks to everyone who backed it and supported and liked and shared. And that will be at Amazing Hawaii. The other project that we're working on right now with an active Kickstarter is Macabre Tales, horror anthology book. It's got 6 stories about mythology, creepy, supernatural monsters from the different cultures that are here in Hawaii.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
it's been well received so far. It's got 6 stories, 3 pinups, no variant covers, but our cover is done by Mark Gould, fantastic local Hawaii artist.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of buzz about it right now.
How did Mark do that cover? What did he paint it? Was it watercolor or did he digitally color it?
Actually, he was going to paint it. I think he was going to do oil paints,
Yeah.
but he didn't have the time for it and decided to go digitally instead.
Okay.
I think it turned out fantastic.
I would love to have him eventually on the show, and I do have a special episode to get more Hawaii people, but I'm not
That would
ready.
be awesome.
I'm not ready to quite put it out there yet, but it is coming very, very soon, and I think you're gonna like the date that I have it scheduled for. And this I can say October 31st.
Oh, wow. Halloween.
Exactly. Oh yeah, but I will be trying to get more Hawaii people on there, and we'll see. Hopefully, Mark will take the invite, and
I hope so. He does some
yeah.
amazing paintings.
He does. I've seen his postings. I saw him when he put out his first ones at Mark's Garage, and then Mog was telling me like how well he was doing at MauiCon last year with his paintings, and when Mog was telling me about it, she was like so excited, and yeah, and then he sold this, and then right after that he sold that, and I was like, oh man, that's good. That's good for Mark, man. Love to hear those stories. Okay.
Less to bring back to the plane too.
Yeah, and I gotta say, all right, with you, Nepal, and you, Lawrence, right? I've known you guys kind of like for a while now, and you guys were kind of like really quiet before, but now it's like after COVID, you guys have really stepped up. Okay, and I'm happy to see the growth and the steps you've taken to get something out there of your own creation. So, and I'm looking forward to be in Hawaii to see what you guys put out and how you set up, right? So that's actually the number one thing I'm looking forward to see there. You guys have been great always at the con, so it'll be nice to see how you guys do now with this kind of like a new phase that you guys are going into.
Honestly, there's just so much talent here in Hawaii. It's both of our projects really is about bringing local talent into the spotlight and showcasing what people from Hawaii can do and other places.
Right. And that's why I'm happy to have you guys here. because I feel like this is an outlet where you can do that. And so I'm happy to assist in that. And like I said, if I can get more Hawaii people in here, that would be great. Um, Everybody knows David Nakayama, so I'm not going to try to get him on here. And he does come to the mainland shows, and we see him out there. So, but yeah, but there are other people like you were talking about, Mark Gold. There is a bunch of like other people. Even same thing with Connie here. She's very talented. And we've seen her work through the years. We haven't even physically met her face to face yet, but having her on the show, well, the show that we had before SketchUp, which was Draw and Bid, and I'm actually going to have something with that next year as well, and I'm hoping tied in with what we have now. So I'm hoping that'll be something good, because that was a lot of fun when we did that, and we were able to get quite a few people involved, a lot of artists involved in that at during that time, and we haven't seen a lot of them. So I'm hoping to kind of like reconnect with everybody with that special episode.
Yeah, it's actually been a long time since we had a con year.
Yeah, well, you guys just had Comic-Con Honolulu,
Yes.
right? Did
Connie
you
was
do
at
that?
that.
Oh, okay. Connie was at that. How was that for you, Connie?
Hold on.
Comic-Con Honolulu, how was that for you?
Actually, in general, it was a little bit on the slower side because we had the Pokemon World Championship, I think, a couple of weeks beforehand, and then there was what else was there? The Made in Hawaii show was the weekend just before. So a lot of people said that it was slow for them, but altogether, actually, I had a pretty positive experience, and
Good.
yeah, I'm warm and then made my money back, so that's always a good thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it helps that you're there, so the money that you got to lay out isn't that much, just for the table. And so now in November we're gonna actually have people flying over, and so that's gonna like a heavier cost. So hopefully everybody will do good then. I can't say there's gonna be a couple surprises for Amazing. I'm actually working with Jimmy on doing a couple of the things that they were actually my ideas, and I ran it by him. Said, and he just approved them. So we've just got to try and put it together. So I'm hoping that everybody will enjoy this, but it will involve quite a few artists that will want to, if they want to participate. So we're trying to elevate that at the show to give more artists a kind of a spotlight, to be in there as much as cosplayers and the celebrities, right? So kind of trying to make it like an even keel. So hopefully it'll go well. We've seen some of this already happening at some of the other shows successfully, so hopefully we can do that as well for Amazing. Connie, how about you? Do you have any projects you're working on?
Well, I am currently working on one short 4-page anthology piece for somebody that I probably can't talk too much about.
Okay.
I'm
Can you say who it is?
I was working with Chuck Pinot on that. I'm
Okay.
yeah, gonna see how that's going to turn out. Then
All right.
another thing is
Okay.
that a 22 interior page deal with an animation team in New Zealand. So the script for that is supposed to get finished sometime soon in the next couple of months. So I'll be starting on that. And yeah, on top of that, I'm doing a pinup for Napua's next project, the Macabre Tales 2. I'm not sure when that exactly is coming out. That's next year, I think.
Yeah,
but I'm
next
doing a
year.
pinup for that. Yes,
right.
and I'm currently working on the pinup that might get elevated to a variant cover, but not sure about that yet. Not finished. But the thing that I'm doing right now is kind of a riff on that. It's a terror from the deep kind of thing, and I actually got a little bit further on that. There we
go. Oh man, that
Oh,
is looking
wow.
awesome.
So cool.
That is. Look at that.
Yay.
Wow.
If you get into the detail, there's a lot of detail in there.
Yeah, a lot of detail. This is definitely looking good there. Okay. Yeah. Nice. You have gotten very busy from the time that we met you. I remember that when we first met you online, you really didn't have much of a connection to the art community.
No. It was just through COVID that I actually got a little bit more involved in the local community. I didn't even know that there was that much going on over here, to be honest.
Right.
And just over the last couple of years, I've gotten a little bit more projects for pinups, and I did my own little zombie ash can that I finished last year for Maui Comic Con, and then Napur gave me the chance to do the ash can for Dracula 1944, the interior on that, and that was a lot of fun. So I did the pencils for that for her story, and Drew Gutierrez did the inking. And then Napur, of course, finished it off with the lettering and the overall design. So she did a lot of that, and the promotion that she does, amazing. I have to say, without all of her work and everything, I don't know if it would have gotten out so far. I was surprised. He was like, "Oh, we're now in Baltimore and Pittsburgh." I'm like, "What? It's amazing."
She reached out far.
I mean,
even I was surprised. I thought it was just going to stay in Hawaii, and then I'm hearing all these mainland shots. It's now over here, and now it's over here. I go, dang! I haven't even done that yet.
And locally, we
It's
also
a lot
have
of
some
work.
really fun projects, like for a horror movie, like a monthly horror movie community that shows like small independent movies, Blind Lions. We go, and we've been there a couple of times already. And I have to say, like, her stories have been very, very well received by that community. So I'm really happy that both Lawrence and Napur are getting their stories out.
Yeah, and we would love to promote those as well when you have like more and other stories that you're going to come out with and develop. Right, so let's take a look at what we have on the art boards, starting with Mog. She is working on a snow paw blank sketch cover drawing Saray, the main character, who is a werewolf. Okay. She's got the headshot in there, and we are looking for a bid of $100 on that. So not only are you going to get the artwork, but you're going to get the first issue, so you'll have a chance to read that. He will be working on issue number 4, interiors and cover, later this year. Okay, so let's take a look at Fang. She's got that much done already on Supergirl. Fang is very, very quick, very good.
Wow.
Nice dynamic pose there too. Like the perspective on that. Looking for a bid of 150. If we don't get that bid, it's going to the shows and price is gonna go up. And she's got a lot of shows to sell it at. 6 total that she's attending, this crazy girl. All right, let's take a look at Mr. Fish, who's working on Trap Jaw, looking for a bid of $50 on that. Ouch. That jaw is trapped.
God, so awesome.
Damn.
Gotta go overboard. You know, he's my boy. I love me some Trap Jaw.
Look at that.
So good, man.
Nice.
You're so good.
A lot of good artwork here tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like villainous characters is like, I don't know.
Oh, it's so much fun. Like, you can go so far with it, and not have to worry about keeping them pretty and stuff.
Yeah.
I just I love
That's
it.
what I like.
And the expressions, like the maniacal stuff, is so much fun to draw. Like heartbreaking and love and all that stuff is fun too. But like crazy eyes is so much fun.
Yeah.
Psychopaths, rage, anger. Oh yeah.
Gotta love it.
Feel you, man. Feel you.
It's got a lot more to do on that. And Fish is looking for a mere $50 starting bid on that. Somebody put that on the board. Next up, Cats.
Hello.
Monster Girl.
Wow.
I'm getting into the textures.
And if you've seen her Cat's work before, you know she loves doing textures, and she does textures right.
Thank you.
Nice touch there. Looking for a mere $30 bid. Somebody place a bid on that. That is way too good to go that cheap. Okay, and now our next monster, Connie, who's doing a Leviathan Cthulhu. She likes to do these mashups, and you saw that earlier.
That's gorgeous.
That board is full. And she already has a bid on that.
Wow.
$75. So we are looking for the next bid of $80. Right?
It makes me feel like I'm just playing. Man.
I wouldn't. Don't be a slouch there, Fish. You know, you're working on a good piece as well, dude. And we see a lot of detail in your work too. So I will not be surprised that you are also going to.
It's supposed to be a sketch. So Fish,
I know everybody's
it's
supposed to be a sketch, but everybody's doing like these really good pieces. No problem with that.
Don't worry, Fish. I'm there with you.
Anyway, so don't forget to put in #EXP Monster Night if you want to get on the giveaways tonight. And on that note, we will be right back after this short commercial break.
In a world where you hit like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, that'd be really great. Thanks.
Symphonic verses, Nocturne's romance. A song of romanticized darkness, dreaming death by sleep.
Whoa. Did you miss it? Yeah, they can go by pretty fast. Let's slow down the footage.
Welcome. It's time to skim some comics. Miles Morales Spider-Man, I will just tell you that Miles is very important in his role as a vampire. So.
It's fine. If you like Hercules, read it. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. It's fine.
The art is still stunning. There's a panel, little spoiler, there's a panel in this where Chitauri first hits Lion-O, and he is the best "did she really just hit me" face I've ever seen put in a comic book.
Wow, live reviews of new comic books so you can be ready for New Comic Book Day. What is this? Oh, I see. It's Minute to Skim It. Part of the experience.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks again for joining SketchUp this Thursday night with Mog and Mel. Tonight we have a bunch of people from Hawaii who have gotten several projects. We have Napoa Hino, Lawrence Pacheco, and Connie Jo Litz. And so, Lawrence,
Yes.
what do you have planned after these books that you have now for the year? Where do you plan to go from there? Are you planning to become a big publisher in Hawaii? Because there's several there now.
That's a very good question. It's more about the creative process for me. I love storytelling. I come from doing documentaries, and that's a different way of telling stories. So I'm trying to see where this goes. If this really goes well, then sure. I mean, I'd love to be able to publish more. As it stands right now, like I said, there are 2 other comic books coming up that I'm really looking forward to, and yeah, I can't wait to tell those stories.
Okay. How did you get into comics?
Into comics, meaning how did I become a fan?
Yeah, how did how was like your first experience into comics that got you hooked into the media?
Superman number 257 from 1972.
Wow.
That's
so what was
the comic
special
book
about that issue?
The cover was done by the late, great Nick Cardy. And I remember being a kid being totally blown away by the perspective and the colors of that cover. And I read that comic backwards and forwards constantly, and it was because of that that I became a Superman fan and a collector. And that's what got the ball rolling into being a full-blown comic book fan. So it's from that.
Have you collected the whole line of Superman, or were you just in and out every now and then?
The comic books, yeah, in and out. I collected a lot over time. I'd go and collect a little bit here and a little bit there, and a mass collection. But I collect other things too, memorabilia.
So what was your? Do you have a favorite story or artist from Superman?
Well, definitely Nick Cardy was influential for me. His art stylings really captured my imagination as a kid. I really believe that he was the king of perspective. And there are others. I mean, I love John Byrne, Neil Adams, all of those guys. They're really good. People like Ron Friends. The list goes on.
What is your favorite Superman story? Do you have one?
Wow. I don't know if I can pin down one favorite. I mean, The Man Who Has Everything is a great one for me.
Oh, good choice.
That hits my heart in a sense, and yeah, it's those. I mean, I do love the late '80s run with John Byrne.
Yes.
Well, sorry, the early '80s, but the later ones that segued over to Jerry Ordway. Those were actually fun with all the characters involved.
How did you feel about the death of Superman?
I get asked that a lot. I actually wore the armband at work that day.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, got some comments, but it was, what it was. It was okay. I mean, I understood. Everybody was saying, "Oh, he's dead. He's dead." But I knew it was a marketing campaign.
Yeah.
And it's not the first time that they ran a story where they killed him, so.
Right. But with that story, it really seemed like this guy was dead.
Yeah.
Okay, but we knew, if you've been around comics long enough, nobody stays dead forever. Okay,
Correct.
so it was interesting. First of all, they got you all, even for me, being a collector, a fan, and all that. I'm reading the story, and I'm going, man, this kind of really, really touches you off. I mean, I could feel it and everything, and I wasn't expecting that from this story that was so heavily publicized and marketed, right? Um, and then you go through it. Wow, you're thinking, boy, they really just killed this guy, you know. And you're asking yourself, the next question you ask yourself after that is, how are they going to bring him back? Because you know what's going to happen. But
I
they
didn't
had you
even like
guessing so many
Superman.
ways. Yeah.
Made me weep.
See, that's the kind of effect it had. It was
Mhm.
that good. Call it whatever you want, but the marketing they did on that was really, really great. Now the other thing I'm going to share this. The other thing that I liked is this, right? Because I was a retailer back then, and a dealer, and a speculator. And I was trying to decide, man, how much of this book should I order? Everybody knows the game already. We've gone through this like several times. You don't want to bank on it because it's been so heavily marketed. Everybody's going to be running high numbers. Okay. And then 1 week before the book came out, it came out on like national news. And I go,
Yes.
that's when I threw the paper up. That's it. I started calling every freaking distributor I knew that could have extra copies, and I bought what I could. Okay. So, long story short, when that book came out, I made a ton of money, and I was able to go on vacation for a month, and I just stayed in Hawaii.
Nice.
That was my claim to fame on that book. Right. I'd call my guys up from Hawaii and tell them, I'd ask them, okay, what's going on? And said, oh, this stuff sold out. And I was so well stocked on those issues. Said, all right, put out 10 more of these, 10 more of that, and yeah, okay, do that. So I kept that whole thing pretty much paid for my store expenses, not the books that I ordered, but at least my operating costs, and still
Nice.
funded my vacation. And so I was like really, really happy with that. But yeah, that was a great story to read. There's not too many books that will touch you off like that, but that is definitely one of them for me. The other one is the death of Captain Marvel. That's the only other. I think that's the only other one that really kind of like touched it off. But great, great, great story that they did back then. How about you, Napua? How did you get in?
My grandma used to buy me a lot of Archie comics. I don't know, it wasn't really my thing. She also bought me a lot of Barbie dolls, and that wasn't my thing either. That was my first introduction to comics, though. The first time I fell in love with a comic was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I have loved indie comics from the beginning. And they came out with a cartoon, and I was absolutely floored that they had an actual cartoon and a toy line. And yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun.
Okay. So now the Turtles were big in like the 80s. You don't look that old. Were you around then?
Yeah, I'm only 43. So it was right in like late elementary school for me with the Turtles.
Okay. And there was a lot of good things that were happening around that time too, besides the Turtles. But the Turtles were really, really, really big. And
Yes.
so it's great to see those 80s tunes still around, and Turtles is leading the way with that. Did you get into any of the other independent books around that time?
Oh, well, when Image came out, I was really into all the Image comics. Max was my favorite. I also like Spawn. I still love Spawn. But yeah, it was Image Comics for me, and not so much into the Dark Horse comics. It still felt a little mainstream. Yeah.
So what would you say was your favorite Image book?
Definitely the Max.
The Max, okay. And Yeah, actually, they're trying to make a comeback with Max, so we'll see if they can actually pull that off. That'll be interesting to see how they're gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, they had a cartoon series too on MTV,
Right.
and that was really
Oh
good.
yeah, that was
really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was. All right, so your turn, Connie. How did you get into comic books?
How did I get to comics books? As a kid in Germany, usually we got Mickey Mouse at first, but grew out of that pretty quick. Then Asterix was one of my favorites.
Oh.
Yeah, that and Lucky Luke. I think as a teenager, I read a lot of that. And then
Is
sooner or
comics
later,
readily available in Germany? American comic
Oh
books?
yeah. And Europe has got a lot of indie scenes. Like Splinter was a big company then, and then of course heavy metal influenced artists. There's a lot of those, and especially the Belgian comics like Mobius, for example. There's a lot of different things that you could go
Yeah,
into
good
that
stuff.
are
Good stuff.
really
Those are
really
all good
amazing
stuff.
with with color work and just the mind blowing art that they do. So yeah, just at the end of high school, getting a little bit more into those like independent European art books. I wasn't really that much into American comics like Marvel or DC. That wasn't really on my radar at all. I just kind of got a little bit more into that after moving to America.
Oh.
But I still appreciate European comics a little bit more, just because everything is so much more individualistic and not so much driven by a house aesthetic. So yeah, it's not to knock the ability and the skills of everybody involved. So
Yeah,
I don't
when
want to
they
say
started
that. Yeah.
when they started bringing like heavy metal over into the United States, and I saw that, I was going, wow, this was like the levels above what the American comic books were at, and I wanted more. So I was happy that there were more things coming out. Like we had Epic Magazine that came out, and again another bunch of like stunning artwork and with familiar artists that we had already known working at Marvel and DC. It was great to see, and I'm glad that we got that exposure. I would love to see more, and there is more out there. But it's like we have to like look for it now. They're not as readily available as they used to be. So hopefully that can get turned around and everybody can appreciate that as well. All right, let's go around and take a look at the artwork again, starting with Mog. Okay, wow. Take a look at that perspective. The arm there, turning. Part of
The
it
claws.
Got the claws.
Nice.
All right. And she is looking for $100 bid. Start on that. If you want to bid on that, go ahead and do so in the comments. And then next we have Fung Fung. She was working on a Supergirl, looking for a bit of 150. Oh, she's already started
Lovely.
coloring.
Wow.
Got the skin going and the hair going.
Oh,
Giving her
so
the
pretty.
Goldilocks.
That's going to be so beautiful.
All right, I see. So Stephen Naylor is writing DXP experience. He's also your mommy, your daddy, your pusher in the alley, your brother when you need a true plan to succeed. You know Mel, he's your friend, your main boy, thick or thin. I don't know where that's coming from, but I'll have to catch up on that in a bit. All right, so next up we have Mr. Fish, who is working on Trap Jaw. Ow. Trap Jaw.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So nice.
Trying
Very
to
nice.
figure out which way to turn it. Camera's got me
It's
thrown
like
off.
he's like popping in there and then turning his head, looking at you.
Mhm.
You're next, kiddo.
Mm-hmm.
Iced tea, bro. Okay. And Mr. Fish is still looking for a bid on that of an easy $50. Somebody put that on the
Maybe
board.
I'm not. Maybe I'll stick it on the wall. That's what I'm starting to think. I'm starting to get attached now.
I know that.
I know, it looks really nice.
Aren't you doing a show soon?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I just got back from Maryland.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Doing a con up there. That was a huge bust.
Maryland?
Oh, yeah?
That was a giant learning experience because it's 11 by 14. That's what size it is.
There you go. 11 by 14. Derek?
I realized at this show, not what everybody calls small press is the same thing everybody else calls small press. And while I consider myself a small press comic, they were really geared more towards zines. And so nobody there was really interested in like standard size adventure stories. They were looking for like slice of life, LGBTQ, furry stories, like a book about my favorite sticks. It just wasn't the audience for the stuff that the adventure stories that I make. Even though I don't do standard superhero comics, it was too traditional for the people that were coming to that show, which is fine. To each their own. I like all the stuff that was there too. I just, Yeah,
it's not the demographics that you were trying to reach.
No harm, no foul.
Oh yeah, you accidentally came to the ice cream parlor with a steak.
Yeah.
It was just wrong crowd.
And that's fine. I wish I hadn't driven across the country to get there.
Oh, that always sucks.
That was an expensive lesson to learn, but
how long of a drive was that?
We took 3 days to get there because we stopped. Well, I'm disabled, so I can only spend so long in the car before I'm just in agony. And B, we took a long way around, like went through Pennsylvania, visited some online friends that we hadn't got to meet in person before. So we made a nice road trip out of it. And we thoroughly enjoyed the trip. And we took 2 days on the way back. And
nice.
But yeah, lesson learned.
Okay. And now Derek has placed a bid on your piece, so you are on the board.
No.
He's opened up at $50. Thank you very much for that. Looking for the next bid of $55. Right. And now we have Kat.
Hello.
Who also already has a bid on her piece from Mike.
Is how far I am.
She's looking for the next bid of 35. That is still going like way too cheap. She's got a lot more details that she's working on there. So whoever gets this, you're gonna appreciate it once it is done. And last but not least, we have Connie, who's working on a mashup of Leviathan and Cthulhu. And there you go. That is. What was this piece going to be used for again, Connie?
Well, something very similar. Actually, Camilla is not here today, but he's digitally coloring a different version of this for hopefully a variant cover. But we'll see what that.
Jesus, I know if you showed this to Chuck, he's gonna like this as well, because he's another big
he's a monster
Cthulhu fan. Yeah, he's got his own Cthulhu stories as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and there you have it. And on that note, we will be right back after this short commercial break. So don't go away.
According to a statistic that I just made up, people spend 4 hours a day changing the television channel. People who watch The Experience don't do that. Save yourself a ton of time by tuning into The Experience and enjoying our new original programming 7 days a week. And then tell your friends. Think about the money they could save on batteries in the remote alone just by tuning into The Experience. Find out more by scanning the QR code below.
Live from New York. What? Oh, sorry. Live from Cleveland? It's Friday night? It's Friday Night Live! with Nancy McCann and Ricky. And sometimes Carlos. And featuring boxes and boxes of rare comics. Unique collectibles. Lots of smiles and conversations with new friends. Friday Night Live with Comics Unlimited. Friday night from 9 to 11 on The Experience. Something is speaking to you. Just at the edge of your perception. Your senses fill with visions of vortices. 360 Comics. Slowly drawing you to one thundering epiphany.
360 Comics! 360 Comics!
The universe is telling you to shop with 360 Comics. Joe's got amazing stock from high dollar to $5 books from Silver Age to modern, CGC, variant covers, and more. 360 Comics every Wednesday at 9 Eastern, part of The Experience.
Hey, thanks everyone again for joining SketchUp with Mog and Mel. And if you haven't yet, if you want to get in on the giveaways, we're doing 2 tonight. But to get in on that, you put in #EXP Monster Night, and that will get you into this to win these limited edition prints from Hawaii artist who we love very much. His name is Lorenzo. From Trini Graphics, and the winners will get 2 prints, and they are numbered. And so, like I said, they are limited, and you will have a chance to win that. And also, don't forget, if you haven't done so already, click that follow button, share, comment, and like the show. Help us get it out there to more people and beat this algorithm. And once we get more followers, we reach a certain number. We like to do more giveaways, like slabs and such. Right, so it's a great way to get in on that action. Okay. So tonight we have some wonderful people, some wonderful friends that are with us from Hawaii. We have Lawrence Pacheco, Napua Ahina, and Connie Jolitz. And we've been talking to them about their projects. But what I want to know is, how's the weather over there now in Hawaii?
It's fantastic. Hot, but nice.
Are you like in the 70s or the 80s? Or right now we're in the 70s, believe it or not. During the summer, we're like 71, 72.
Oh,
Tonight
no,
is
it's
really
hotter
super
here.
chilly. Yeah. And I'm
we're
dying
in
to
the
feel
80s.
some heat.
Well, it's humid too, so you know.
Yeah, the humidity never really bothered me as much because you get the wind there that blows, and that always felt good, on my skin. So you could like walk around without a shirt and just take that all in. I love that feeling over there.
Speaking of being shirtless,
Uh-oh.
when did you guys start to feel comfortable to be shirtless in front of people?
Who are you talking to?
To the guys. Of course, not the girls. Because I noticed some guys are super shy about it, and some guys they're just unaware. Like,
I won't do it. I don't care what I look like. I wouldn't do it.
you never did
I can't.
it?
I mean, I did a little bit when I was a kid, but even then, like, I didn't like going out in the living room without a shirt on with just my family around. I didn't care for it. But then I'm autistic and have sensory issues and stuff, which probably gives me a different reaction than other people. But
Our son is super shy. He would rather die than go shirtless. So I'm guessing when he hits maybe 30 years old, maybe he'll go around shirtless. But yeah. Well,
it
what
took
about you,
about
Mel?
30 before I got used to just walking around in a t-shirt.
Well, for me, I got used to it pretty fast. I used to walk around the island with my BBDs and a tank top. BBDs is underwear. So I got used to it kind of fast. But when I got older, I don't know. It just because you're in Hawaii, it's not uncommon to see people not wearing a t-shirt. You know, because we like the beach life there, and we take our shirts off. How about you, Lawrence?
No. Shirt. It must be a shirt. Definitely.
Oh, really? Okay. And we are. See, thanks to everyone for watching. So awesome to see this audience growing and growing every week. Well, thanks for that, JD. And I did say that Fish Hut, you do have a bid on that, right, from Derek. So thank you very much for that, Derek.
Yes, thank you.
We are looking to see what else is going to happen on here. Anything else you got going on there, Napoa, in your neck of the woods? Anything that you're looking forward to?
Definitely Maui. I'm not going to be able to make it this year. I'll be in California, but they've got some great turtle artists coming down, and it's almost like Turtle Con. I wish I could go.
Okay.
Turtle artists.
Yeah.
Expound. I don't know what that means.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ah, okay. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense.
For Maui Con?
Yeah, Maui Comic Con. There's like maybe 4 or 5 artists that are connected to the Turtles.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, in what way? Were we talking about like the animation or?
Various. I mean, some of them are from comic books, some is from animation. So I think one guy was had something to do with the character designs for the movie.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I totally wish I could be there for that.
Well, they have Freddie Williams. He's going to be at Amazing this year, and he's never been to Hawaii yet. They've tried to get him out there a few times, but he's always had like a conflicting schedule. So this time he's going to be able to come out there. So everybody that has their Kevin Eastman signatures, because Kevin has been there a few times now, they can now get Freddie Williams to sign their books right next to Kevin. So you can double up on those signatures. So that's going to be an exciting time to see. Turtles has always been really big in Hawaii. And I don't know if it's because Hawaii loves turtles. We see the turtles on the beaches. I have my spots where I like to take my group to see the turtles. Yeah, and I'm hoping to do that again this year. Fun will be with us and shore and swim with some of the turtles. Not touching them though. Can't touch them. Okay. Yeah, so we'll see like how that goes. And what are you guys expecting from Amazing this year? Okay, I know that Napoa and Lawrence will be there. Connie, will you be there?
Yeah, and actually I know that Drew wants to maybe group up to have our tables together so we can rep the Dracula 1944 a little bit. I don't know if we're going to have the chance to actually shuck up with Napua as well, but I guess that depends on the yes, that's right. I guess that depends on whether or not we can talk to Jimmy and get everything together.
What
But
do you need to get together? You mean as far as like getting a spot at the show, or?
yeah, just putting it together, whether or not that's possible.
Like having our tables near each other.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
just having
Okay.
it next to the other. That's just a logistics thing right there. But
Are you
yeah,
all in
that's
Artist
also
Alley?
yes.
Okay, then that shouldn't be a problem. But how
Yeah.
about this? Would one thing that we haven't talked about, okay, is how you market your books, or how you've decided like to put them together and stuff. Did you go and talk to some of the other artists and publishers that are there, like DJ, Christopher, and, those guys that have had their books out and have their publishing companies as well, kind of established in Hawaii? Did you guys have to reach out to them to figure out how you're going to do yours?
For me, I was part of the Hawaiian Comic Book Alliance,
right?
Which Sam Campos spearheaded and was our fearless leader. And DJ, Todd Bernardi, Chris Carvalho, all the, big movers and shakers of the comics in Hawaii were all part of the alliance too. So I got to sit around them, hear their stories, things that worked, things that didn't work. A lot of collaborations between us, just the various members of the groups. And that's really the spirit that Hawaii has. It's a lot less competitive, and it's really more collaborative, I think. So I didn't actually reach out to them per se, but I learned a lot from their experiences and things that did work. And I wanted to work with other people because that's part of the fun for me, is getting to see other people's creativity and their interpretations of like, what does an Aswang Filipino vampire look like? What does yokai from Japan, what do they look like, from a person in Hawaii who doesn't grow up in Japan, but we have Japanese culture, just the different interpretations for things. And for me, that was the fun part of it. And hopefully I get to work with more Alliance members in the future. Like I know Lorenzo, who's doing some of the giveaways tonight. He was in the Alliance too. And he does some fantastic supernatural things that I would love to see in a future Macabre Tales.
Okay. Now, you ran your first Kickstarter earlier this year. What are some of the big things that you learned from it that you're going to be making adjustments for in your future projects? Is that something you can share?
Well, for Dracula 1944, a lot of the support that we got was from people that we knew, that had been following us on social media for a while, where we were talking about the development of the characters in the book and the story and the artwork, and really getting people involved in the process. And I think that made a really big difference.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's my dog.
Yeah, no worries. I find that does make a big difference, right? Even in anything, right? If you can provide some insight and share, people like that, especially if they can see the love and passion that you have for your project. They can feel that that's that moment that you look for and try to get across. And if you can touch them on that, they are moved to support in some way, right? And I've done retail for a long time in many different industries, and it always comes down to that, right? I'm selling ice cream, and if I can sell it with that kind of a passion, and the good thing is that I loved ice cream, so it was easy for me to sell, and I sold it on that, and people believed in that. They could see that, so it was easy to do, right? But even like when you're listening to a song, they try to have that moment where they make that connection with you, to get you to feel their love and their passion. even last night too, I was at a Yelp event for dinner, and the owner was telling us a story about how this food was from his grandmother, and that was his touching moment, and it just moved everybody. And I think that just seems to be like a common thread in how we can get everybody to look and see and how we feel about the projects that we're on. So, and I've told my son, I don't really care what you decide to do with you as far as like a career or working job, as long as you love it and have the passion for it. Because I think you'll no matter what it is, you'll succeed. So hopefully he takes that into consideration and runs with that. But yeah, I totally agree with that. So would you guys be willing, put you guys on the spot now, to do a panel to share some of that things that you've gone through with your projects, like how you market, how you accomplish certain things? Is that something you guys would like to do?
For me, I would totally be into that. When Sam was doing the Comic Book Alliance, we did panels just exactly about that. How do you make a local comic in Hawaii using the resources that we have here and resources that we don't have here, using the best that the mainland has to offer and how to make it, kind of work.
Right.
I would totally be into doing something like that.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. I haven't talked to Sam in a long time. Sometimes he's kind of like really hard for us to reach from here because he's doing like so much over there. So it will be good to see him again. Over there.
He's a busy
I will
guy.
reach out to him. Yeah. I don't even know what he's doing now, but I'm sure I'll have a chance to catch up with him sooner or later. Once we get over there.
Hey, Fish.
Yo.
For your black and whites, the ink one, what kind of, do you use a nib or is it a brush? What are you using?
I am using, what am I using? I'm using the Pentel like pocket brush pen.
Yeah.
It's just one of my buddies turned me on to. It's one of the ones with the little cartridges in it, which I usually kind of avoid, but it comes out real handy. I'm always looking for a finer point. Like I used to use really, really small brushes when I was inking by hand. And I can get one of the finest lines with a brush pen I've seen yet with this one. And I'm always looking for something that'll go finer, but it's the best I've found so far. And it works with like markers and stuff and doesn't bleed with the ink that comes with it, which is a hard thing to find. Like I bought so many Japanese brush pens. And like I'll have one that works amazing and I can use it with watercolors and I can use it with markers and whatever I want. And it's great.
Yeah,
and then I try and buy the exact same one and it doesn't have anywhere near the same kind of like brush tip to it anymore. It doesn't have the same feel and the ink just washes away with watercolor or marker or both.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm ordering something wrong and I'm missing something because it's in Japanese or if it's just like not being manufactured to the same standards or if I'm getting a knockoff.
Mm-hmm.
But this one has been working pretty well.
Sometimes like for example, when I do this piece and it's an ink work, I know I can't color it. It's like what you said, because if I add color over it, it bleeds and then it gets, because not all the ink is waterproof. It's very rare that I find a waterproof one. The only waterproof one I found, I even bought Pentel because they advertise it as waterproof, something like that. And it never really worked for me. But the only one that really worked is, what is this thing called? It's the Sakura brand Micron pens.
Yeah,
But
those work pretty well.
But you were saying your Pentel actually is waterproof, and you put watercolor over, and it works fine.
I think so. I haven't used this one with watercolor because I switched over to doing markers before I got this one. I think I might have done a test in my sketchbook.
Yeah.
But oh, thank you, Stevie B. I'm glad. Hey, I'm wondering, Stevie B, while I got you there, did I leave my little silicone mat in that comic to keep it from bleeding through? Because I can't find it since then. I think I might have mailed it to you. I'm just curious. If that's where it is, I'm going to quit looking for it.
Silicone mat? You actually use a silicone mat?
Yeah, it came with the markers that I have. It's just a little flat little sheet of plastic rubber that I stick between the covers, so when I color, the markers don't like bleed through the cover onto the first page.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Huh.
Or at least it was while I had it.
Huh. Oh, and Fang.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you use Micron, right? And I remember that you kept looking for something called number one. The Micron pen for inking?
Yeah. Like this, right? This one?
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to use this one, graphic one, for outside line art for the A.
Yeah.
I like to use 0.5 for the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works very good.
Yeah. I finally understand you, because now I'm doing the ink, this one. I've been using the one you told me. You kept saying number one. And I'm thinking,
Number one for the line,
why are you so...
outside line edge. This one for the eyes, everything.
Yeah.
It's very details. Yeah.
Yeah. But this, I agree with you. This number one, I use it a lot now. It's really good for line variation.
Yeah. It's very...
And also, I use number two quite a lot too. So thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. Like to share.
I like what Stevie writes here. Now, Paul, why is the name of my hermatologist, Dr. Akula, printed on your shirt?
That's hilarious.
What about you, Kat? What kind of tools do you use for the inking?
For most of my stuff, it's like I go back and forth a lot. When I'm at home, it's like I use a lot of Pitt pens. So like the Faber-Castell Pitt pens.
Yeah.
These ones do really well with not smearing when you're putting marker and stuff on top of it most of the time.
Oh.
Because we'll use a lot of Copics, or I'll use a lot of acrylic inks when I do stuff. But most of the time, it's just like if I'm at home and I can actually be creative, I'll actually just break out like pen, inks, and quills. But then we travel so much that we needed something portable. So I do the Pitt pens.
Very nice.
What's
I don't
your...
want to bring all of that water and ink when we travel, like on planes or
I
to like a bunch
totally
of
agree.
shows. Yeah.
I've been telling Mog, man, we got to find something a little bit more economical, because she does like bringing the water and the watercolors and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. It's just like if you enjoy it and you don't mind the mess, it's like totally 100% do it. But it's like I don't want to deal with it, and I don't want it to like pop in my bag or it like the glass breaks. It's just like I don't want to deal with that.
That's what I'm worried about.
And that stuff is expensive, and I'm like, no.
I'm like worried it'll get like on something that I don't want it to, so I'm constantly telling them, double bag that sucker, double bag it.
No, I'm always worried about dumping water at a show and getting it on the books or something.
Yeah.
And I started using like the refillable brush pens that I could fill with like a water bottle and stuff in my lap. And if I spilled a little on my lap, it wasn't the end of the world. And use those, and they don't spill on me so much. But the thing that always kills me, is I started doing so many sketch covers, and the watercolors just warp the covers so badly.
Yeah,
And
I hate that.
I don't really have the means to tape it down at a show and stuff and keep it from getting all warped.
That's the other thing. It's
The-
that
the only-
warp factor.
These are the other two that I use for just traveling. That way I can get like the actual brush.
What is that? I can't really see.
So
is it the Tombow?
This one is a. I think this one is a Pentel Sumi ink, and it has a cartridge. But this one gets nice and fine.
That's,
and then
I think
and
the
then
same
this
one
one,
I'm using.
yeah, and then this one has a more like calligraphy brush tip.
Nice.
But this whole thing is filled with ink, and it comes with like this whole piece is a cartridge that you can just like pop it. So you can reload at a con.
Because you know how Copics, it runs out so fast.
Oh,
You're talking like just putting 10 strokes and then you ran out and you have to refill it again. That's the frustrating part. But you're saying with that Tombow and say you got to fill in a lot of blacks for the that one with a long cartridge.
Well, especially
it never runs out.
Well, especially for filling in blacks, I never use like the actual like I wouldn't use one of these to fill in blacks if I was doing that at a show. I would actually just bring a we have a Copic marker that's literally like this wide, and I just fill it in like that. I would honestly rather fill it in with a Sharpie so I don't waste like the expensive ink doing that.
Yeah.
Because we just need it to be dark, and Sharpies are also light fast. You're just going to get high from smelling the paper.
Yeah, Stevie, yes, you did. It was left in the book.
All right. Well, that explains where it went.
You left it in the book.
I'll quit looking for it then. I think that's where my other one went too. Like I had two, and then I was down to one, and I figured I must have mailed it to somebody.
Okay, now that's funny. All right, let's take a look around the board and see what we have so far. Starting with Mog, who was working on Saray from Snowpaw on a Snowpaw blank sketch cover. She is looking for the opening bid on this for $100. And as you can see, that's coming out. Saray is in transition, going into her bestial form. So that is looking good. If you want to place a bid on that, go ahead and do so in the comments. Let's see. The Art and Times of J. Ryan writes, never get high on your own Sharpie supply.
Sometimes we have no choice.
Yeah, that's why.
It just wavers.
But I agree with you. I saw Fang do the same thing, Kat. She always has a Sharpie, like just a regular Sharpie, and you're right. It actually leaves a pretty good black. It fills it up very well. It's very dark and sturdy, and it doesn't run out as much.
And it's archival. It's not going to fade or anything. So,
are they now? Because I know they didn't used to be. Like
that's how it used to be, but a lot of them are archival nowadays.
Oh, that's good to know.
It's definitely a double check on it, because maybe it's just like if you get a certain signing pen, maybe that's a different ink, because I know that they make a few different inks for it.
And that is a standard that most artists use if they have to fill in a lot of blacks. They'll get that wide brush Sharpie and just go to town with it. I like using those myself, and I'm not even an artist. I will get that big wide one.
Oh, I love using that big one to make signs and cons and stuff.
Yeah, it's fantastic for that.
And then we also have like this wide Copic.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's just it's just like that's it.
But you know that one will still run out, right?
Eventually, but if for the most part at a convention, I wouldn't want to do something that was like so filled with black anyway, because I wouldn't want to compromise like messing up a piece for somebody.
Okay.
Plus, it covers ground a whole lot faster.
So you guys basically, when you guys always color, you get a color commission at a con. We all know it's a sketch anyway, but you guys usually always ink it and put all the blacks in, and then you color over.
Depending. If I know that something has like really, really heavy black, I might color it first and then fill in that black. Or if I just, because sometimes like with this piece, before I put in all this fine detail and all the feathers, I went ahead and put the values first just in case, because I didn't want to scrub that hard on top of really thin lines because it might smear.
Exactly.
Because I've seen artists work both ways, where it's like Adam Hughes, he'll put like something really, really light, and then he'll do all of the heavy work with the Copic and then put in super dark darks. But then I see people do it the other way too, where you do everything dark first and then put in your values. So it works either way.
Yeah. As long as you get it to come out and the lines are there, the blacks
Test
are there.
before you get to the show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
everybody
always the thing.
everybody has a different workflow. So it's like sometimes I know exactly what the colors I want it to be, but sometimes I have no idea and I need to like draw it first.
Test it out. Always good to know. A white Sharpie is an oxymoronic? Okay, Ilya. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at, let's see, who's next on here? Fun, who's working on a Super Go, looking for a bid of 150. And that is almost done. And looking sweet.
I will do the background. Add a more background.
Okay, so she's going to add some background on there, looking for a bid of 150. That is much lower than what she usually sells that piece for. And she has no problem trying to sell this at a con. She's got like 4 coming up right in a row and 2 more still after that. Girl is busy. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at Trap Jaw from Mr. Fish. Boom!
Wow.
Look at that.
So much.
Very nice. That already has a bid on there from Derek. It's holding at 50. If you want to place a bid on that, we are looking for the next bid of 55. That
The
is
line
a
weights are so
bargain.
nice.
Yeah, that's on an 11 by 14.
Yep.
So that's larger
big
than a
boy this
comic
time.
book. Yeah, that's actually double the size of a comic book cover when you think about it. Yes. 11 by 14. So he's charging the price of an 11 by 7 by 10 actually. Okay,
Yeah.
so
You know, your
deal there.
artwork always conveys a lot of kinetic energy that I love. It's
Thank you.
very masculine, very energetic, very exuberant. I mean, and it's so weird because it's just a flat 2D surface.
Yeah.
But the only best way I can describe at this moment is kinetic energy. But yeah.
I really appreciate that.
No, I really mean it. So
now with that piece, it does not include the silicone sheet.
No, because I'm fresh out.
He's fresh out of those, right?
I've never heard of the silicone sheet. Like usually whenever I draw, not usually, always, it has to be a hard surface. I cannot stand a soft surface. So I'm thinking silicone surface has to be like kind of cushiony.
Oh
That
no,
would
it's
drive me
really
nuts.
thin. It's really thin. I mean, it's about as thick as a sheet of like cardstock paper. So it doesn't really make much impact on the surface, especially when you've already got a cardstock cover for a sketch cover.
You can't even detect it, you're saying? You can't detect it
No.
that it's behind?
I have to keep checking because it's not the full size of a comic. I have to keep checking and move it around to make sure that I haven't gotten off of it. Because one time I did and ended up bleeding through onto the first page of the comic. And it's not the end of the world, but it bugs me. And so.
Okay.
That's
All right,
so
a
strange.
suggestion for you, Fung. Stevie writes a background, a group of fanboys looking up at her floating figure admiringly. Okay.
What?
All right, Stevie. We see where you're coming from now. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Monster Girl from Cat. We see it already. There you go.
Yep.
Dang.
Decided to add a moon. Got some nice little details in here now. But I feel like she's pretty done. I don't want to overcrowd it.
Right. Okay, yeah, I see the moon there. Little work on that. So that is coming very nicely. We still got about 25 minutes left. And now let's take a look at Connie's Leviathan Cthulhu mashup on a 9x12. Already has a bid of 75. Looking for the next bid on that.
Wow.
Actually, this is going to be pretty much the last look because I hate to draw and run, but I got to probably get going here in a little bit. So this is going to be the last look for now.
I think Ilya is on something. All right, so there you have that piece from Connie, and we are looking for the next bid of that of $80. Already has a bid. She already has her starting bid of $75. And on that note, if you haven't done so already, pound sign EXP Monster Night, that'll get you into sort of running for the giveaways, which we will do in the next segment after this brief, short commercial break. So don't go away.
What do you call the place on Spider-Man's wrists where the webs come out? His website. I hate myself for writing that joke, but you'd make me feel so much better if you just visited our website. We have links to our merch, new release lists, all the show info, and so much more. TheEXPLive.com.
Boring old Tuesday. Kick it!
Hey, let's get to it.
Henri Copen scours collections and comic shops to bring you the biggest deals on beautiful comics.
I'm very eager to sell these books.
Plus, he smashes those other boring sales shows. Henri's got fire, excitement, personality, key books, FOMO books.
Pixie! FOMO books for you.
A cute dog. Weird accents.
69, bro!
A wheel of skid bark?
They do wheel spins at the end of every show.
You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll score huge bargains.
That is Haktua magic right there, all right?
Kicking it with Henri. Tuesday nights, part of the experience. Ask your local comic shop to add Battle Quest comics to your pull list today.
Hey, everybody. Thanks again for coming back to Sketch Up with Mog and Mel. Tonight we have Napoa Hina, Lawrence Pacheco, and Connie Jolitz. They've been talking about their projects, and we are here in our final segment. Before I forget, okay, how can everybody find you guys? Let's start with you, Connie.
All right, this is going to be the last look because after this I got a dash.
Okay, she's got a dash, but if you want to bid on that piece, we will still continue to take that until the end of the show. But that is a nice piece. It's got a bid of
So
75.
beautiful.
Looking for the next bid on there of $80 or more. All right. So final words from you, Connie, before you leave. How do people get in touch with you? What do you have a website that they can go to?
I don't have a website yet, but I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram as CJ Inks Art. And on Facebook with Connie Eulis, just with my name right here. You can message me for commissions or, well, if you guys going to be on Amazing Comic Con, then I'm definitely going to be there with an artist at Alley Table.
There you go. There you have it. Thanks, Connie, for joining us. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Looking forward to seeing you in November as well.
Yes,
and thank you for that. Okay. And there you have it. Thanks, JD, for pulling that up. There is Connie's Instagram if you want to click on that and check out the rest of her work, like I said, she does some fantastic work. And by the way, on that piece, okay, she's putting seahorses in there. Okay, that, and she got that idea from me. Okay, that makes it extra special having seahorses in there. All right, and Lawrence, how can everybody get? How can they get in touch with you or see your projects?
They can go to soaringimaginations.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram at Soaring Imaginations.
Okay, there you go. If you're looking for Lawrence and his projects, Soaring Imaginations will get you everywhere. All right, so you can go to that. How about you, Napur?
We don't have a website, but I'm on social media on Facebook and Instagram. We also have a Kickstarter that's live right now for another maybe 2.5 weeks for Macabre Tales. That's how you can get our book, and we've got some good rewards. We will be at Amazing Comic-Con Hawaii in November, so hopefully you can find us there too.
You said it's currently running on Kickstarter?
Yes, Macabre Tales 1.
Okay. All right, there you have that. If you have the link, you can share that in the private chat, and we'll put it out there.
Sure.
Okay. And before I forget, it's 8:42. Man, the time just goes by really quick. Let's do the giveaways. So this is the first giveaway is a Lorenzo, 2 prints from our good friend Lorenzo. 2 very nice pieces there. They are limited to 10. These are both numbered 7. And that second piece is covered for a nice reason. Let's go ahead and roll for that, JD. Stevie
Wow,
B.
Stevie.
There we go.
Once again.
Congrats.
Rocking the boat.
Yay.
Okay. And all right, let's go ahead and roll for the next one. Another 2 pieces from our good friend Lorenzo. Very 2 pieces that are from Hawaii, influenced with the culture. And the lucky winner is Philip Bryan.
All right.
All right, guys. Even though we may have your information already, please fill out that form so that way we know where everything is going to go and we can get this to you. It will not cost you anything. We take care of the shipping as well, and we will be happy to mail that to you. Okay. All right, and next week, just to fill you in on now, we will have Trevor Fernandez Linkowitz, and he'll be joining us to talk about one of his projects. This guy has some really good projects under his belt, but this one is called Rise. A very interesting story. I think that you guys are going to like. So hopefully you can join us, and we will also have everybody that's coming back next week's our fan favorites of the show. We have Jen Leonard, Sean Linehan. We actually haven't seen in a while. He's been pretty busy, but he's becoming available again. And Nathaniel Oslo was on not too long ago, but we're happy to have him as back. So hopefully you guys will be able to join us and learn more about Rise and see the wonderful art that these artists have. Fung is holding her Supergirl piece. Take a look at that. We have about 11 minutes left. Okay.
Wow.
So if
That's
you want to
beautiful.
bid on that, it
Yes.
is $150. It should be at least a couple hundred, but she brought it down. Okay.
Very nice.
But no worries. If you're going to be at Salt Lake, you might have a chance to see this next week if nobody bids on it. And I'm sure that people in New York will be happy to see that as well in a couple of weeks if she still has that piece. Fang, let me ask you, do you have a favorite comic book character that you like to draw?
My favorite character
Yeah.
I like to draw. What do you mean? When?
Yeah, or out of the Western comics, is there a character that you like to draw?
Oh, it's a lot of character. My original character.
Your original, of course. Okay, yeah, that good answer there. Right, and if you haven't yet, you have your lineage,
Yes, that one.
and she also has Beauty that she has published on her own. And if they want to get those from you, where can they go to get that? What's your website?
www.fanart.net, FNGART.net. Yeah.
There you go. So if you want check that out, give Fang some love. Get a couple of her comic books. Bid on this piece. $150 is cheap for what she does and what she gets at the con. Okay.
I have to say though, Fang, it's kind of always hard when somebody asks, especially for artists like us, say, "Hey, what's your favorite blah blah blah?" Because we have so many. Because art is so diverse. The reason why we're artists. That's kind of the most question I really don't like. It's kind of a. I'm sorry, Mel. I don't mean you're bad, but it's not a good question. but what I'm gonna say for you, Fang, I think you are one of the best Supergirl artists. I don't know why you do Supergirl so well, but when it comes to Supergirl, it's like perfect. Your style and
I did a lot
yeah,
of hard
you're good at Supergirl for some reason.
Yeah, and I don't know why too, but it's like when we do these live sessions at the shows, because I even remember distinctly that you recently did a Supergirl, and it was nice.
Yeah,
it came out really nice.
I don't know why you're so good.
Yeah, but that seems to fit
Supergirl is
for
just
you
so good.
and the way how you lay her out in the perspective that you do. So it's quite interesting how you do that.
Oh,
And
Derek
there's
asked,
Fang's website there. So show
there
her
you
some
go,
love
fine
there.
art. Derek asked, "What's your favorite question?" For me, I love all questions except for this question. This is one of my biggest pet peeve. When I came to America, right? It was kind of a culture shock, of course, but one of the most frequent question everybody asked was, "How are you?" "Hi, how are you?" I hate that question with the passion of 1,000 suns. Nobody cares. Why do you want to know how are you? Like, seriously, just say hi.
No
Good
one
to
wants
see
a
you,
real
man.
answer. Yeah.
Good to see you. And I hate lying. So even though you don't
Mhm.
feel good, you're like, "Hey, I'm great, man. How are you?" Like, and I don't even give a crap how you're feeling either. So it just naturally comes out. But that word, "How are you?" is one of my most. Please don't ask that. And then everything else you can ask. I'm
Okay.
glad. Yeah.
I always do
everybody-
malicious compliance. I always just tell them how my day actually has been going. I'm just like, dude, it sucks. And they're
really?
just like, oh, okay. Yeah, I do malicious compliance. I just actually answer the question.
I've tried to explain to Mog, that she's absolutely right. We don't really care, okay,
No.
as much, okay, but it's something that we're taught that you're just trying to be courteous and
Yeah, it's being
and
polite
nice.
in American culture. Yeah.
It's a nonsense sentence starter. It's just a
Right.
conversation starter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's
But
like I hear the question and I just answer, and then when I ask somebody, I'm just like, and they're just like, "Oh, fine." I'm like, "No, tell me about your day."
Yeah, or
I wouldn't
sometimes
ask.
you get the response, "Do you really want to know?"
And I'm like, I asked.
Really?
Oh,
See,
yeah.
so anyway, with
But
my
I'm a very straightforward person, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I always get whenever you talk, you're so eloquent. You're like a female version of Mel. It's like
Cool.
it's a school teacher. Like I'm in high school or something, or maybe elementary, and you talk like step by step from beginning, middle, end. Everything has like a cohesive point to it. It's like wow.
I don't like
teacher.
it when I don't like it when people talk like you have to read in between the lines or saying a lot of things that are just
Oh
like,
my
you
God.
don't know what they mean. It confuses me a lot, so I try not to speak that way to other people because it's
Okay.
confusing.
I can
Read
say that
between the
Mog is the
lines.
same way.
Where
Really?
it's like,
Yeah.
where it's like people will say things, but you have to know what they
They
mean.
won't say
'cause
what they want. They'll give
Right.
you this puzzle to have to figure out what they want. And
Yeah.
it drives me up the freaking wall. Just tell me what you want, and I'll
Oh
try and do it.
yes.
It's super
But that's
confusing. I'm just really blunt about it because, especially at a convention, I've learned that I get better response that way too. Because sometimes people will ask me like, "Oh, how are you?" Like just as a normal thing. But sometimes like my energy will be low, and I don't want them to think that it's because I'm annoyed at them. So I just tell them, "Oh, like don't worry, just like I'm just tired, but I'm happy to be here." That way, everybody knows that it's like we're cool, like it's fine. I'm just tired. That way everybody's on the same page. Nobody has to guess.
Yeah.
If Ma could have her way, Stevie B, the welcome mat would say, "Go away." Unfortunately, I'm
They
here.
make those mats.
They do.
But yeah, Derek, you know what? I'm trying to work on that, okay, Derek? So I do that unconsciously. So yes, I'm sorry, Mel. I really didn't mean to throw you under the bus.
All right.
In
So,
her
Kat,
defense, Mog is the sweetest person I've ever met in real life. So
No, you
she is
are.
at the top of my most amazing people list.
You know, Fish, I think you are. So
Well, I may be on the list, but you at the top of it. That's all I'm saying.
oh yeah.
oh man,
Thank you. I'll
deal with
take that.
now. Kat, how
I'll
can
take that.
people find you?
So you can find me at catmouseart on all social media and also at catmouseart.com. And I'm always just like, I'm scuttling about doing lots of random things all the time.
Okay. And how about you, Fish?
I am Mr. Fish Comics everywhere on social media. And right now you can check me out at gomrfish.com because my new anthology series Fish Tales Volume 2 launches on Monday. So that's where I'm going to be.
All right, so be sure to visit all the artists, including Lawrence and Napua, with their projects. Give them some love, give them some support if you can. You don't necessarily have to back them, but if you can share, like, comment on their sites, if that's allowable, we do appreciate that. That can go a long way. Okay. Now, I think next week. Okay, I did go over that. Next week, who our special guest is. And in a couple of weeks, Sean and his boys will be covering for us while we're in New York. So you will have a break from Stevie and Ilya again and get to enjoy them. Okay. And there's going to be, I think, 3 other times where we won't be able to do the show. And I'm actually bringing somebody else in besides Sean to try and substitute for us. So, and I think you will like this. So, and I'll probably maybe announce that next week who that will be, and see how you guys feel about that. All right, so we've got 8:54. We've got about a minute left. You got a minute left to place your bids on there. Currently, we have a bid on so is it Connie's for $75 from Mike Asbill. And he's also placed a bid on Cats for $30.
Yeah.
And then we also have a bid. Who was that on? God, I'm forgetting already. Derek placed a bid on Fish for the 50 on that. All right. So once again, I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight. Napua, Lawrence, thank you guys for joining us. And we'll definitely be having you guys and a bunch of other Hawaii people back very, very shortly. I'll be announcing what that will be all about. I think you guys are going to like it. Okay. And we'll definitely be, even though as busy as Fung is, you will see her again in the near future. I will get her on here and you'll see more of her work. Yep, we are looking for Hawaii. So once again, thanks again for joining us. You guys have a wonderful night. See you all next week. Good night, everybody.
Thanks so much.
Night.
Thank you.